Thank you all for being there. We had in France currently, like every year at this period, we have some strikes and we have some weather issues, but it's fine. People are joining over and over. We're really glad to have you there. The party tonight was already good. The party last night was already good, as you can see at my voice, and the party tonight will be great. But yeah, I just want to say hi. I will just give you some hints about what will be happening today, about what we have prepared for you, and then we will start with the content for the event. So this is the 70th conference of Apidays conference over the last 10 years. And as you may have seen in our communication, we're celebrating our 10 years anniversary, right? So 10 years. And the theme of the event is the next 10 years, right? So we ask every speaker to believe about, put us in a next 10-year mental model so we can actually see what may happen. Few words about API Days here. I'm just trying to. That's why. Few words about API Days here. So some of you are already familiar with API Days. The goal of API Days is to connect the humans behind APIs, right? So as more people are joining, I will ask you a small exercise. I will ask you to connect with your left neighbor and your right neighbor, right? Or in front of you or behind you, right? 30 seconds, just connect, right? The goal is to make mindful connection, so I will stop talking. Just discuss with each other for 30 seconds, right? Introduce each other. Yeah, you can do it. Okay, now we're good. We're good. It's funny, some people are joining and say, what's going on here? Okay, we're good. So we will have 2 days again to continue to make connections, but just a way to warm up, because over the last 3 years, because of COVID, a lot of conferences have been online. So now the goal of this event is to be there, make mindful connections, connect with each other. This is why we do in-person events. So yeah, enjoy the in-person experience, and the goal is to connect with each other too. So API Days, for the one who not familiar again, it's a series of conferences, and next year we have conferences in North America, like San Francisco or New York. We continue to have conferences in Europe, in London, Paris, Helsinki. We go also in the Middle East with our first in-person conference in Dubai, and we will stay in Southeast Asia with conferences in Hong Kong, Singapore, and APAC with Australia. So if you're interested to travel, you can follow the API series of conferences around the world. We still have our annual online conference called Interface that will be happening in June. So it's we follow 3 time zones, and we try to have the best speakers of the world because they don't have to travel. So let's say we've learned that sometimes online can have some benefits. So we kept one online conference for these benefits. So as I say, 10 years of conferences, 80,000 past attendees, a community of 300,000 members. So thank you for being part of this community. And yes, the next 2 days hashtag will be Apidays Paris, right? And if you CC us at Apidays Global, we will be glad to retweet you or to like your tweet. So don't hesitate to CC us at Apidays Global. Apidays is not just conferences. We do we try really to connect the ecosystem together. So we do content, we do research, we do consulting, or we help companies to find the best consultant in the space. We help on hiring API roles and jobs. Right? So again, if you have anything in the, about APIs that you want to, and you want to help, Apidays is probably a good place for you to ask. I will just show you some initiatives that we run and that may interest you. The first is the Women in API initiative. So 3 years ago, we said, okay, you know, there's a gender gap in the tech community, and we say, okay, we have to do our part of the job. The part of the job is not to select speakers because they are female, because this is not what nobody wants. But the thing is that is to be sure we show the call for speakers to enough female and to enough women so they can apply, and so it's easier for us to have a non-biased choice when we select people at conferences. When you have 100 speakers and you have only one female, you will never be able to have like 30 or 40% of female speakers. So the goal is to increase the pool of female applying to conferences, tech conferences, all conferences, right? And so we started this Women API initiative. So it's a network of female engineers, designers, business managers, highly involved in APIs who help each other, coach each other to apply to conferences, all tech conferences, not just API, but APIs too, so they can get confidence and actually be selected, right? So that's the idea. So we try to really fight the problem at the root. And yeah, and so far we have like 500 community members. And yeah, it's growing every time. So if you are female and you want to speak at conferences, or if you know a woman that you think deserves to speak at conferences, you can refer the Women in API initiative too, right? The second initiative we run is what we call the API industry landscape. You know, over the last 10 years, we've seen many tools happening. And so we track these tools. We track these tools to help decision makers understand the API landscape. So we write a report called the API State of the Market. But if you go upstairs at the entrance of the conference, you will see a big landscape of 1,200 API tools. There are subcategories, subdivisions, taxonomies. You will be able to discover that. And you can also browse it online on apilandscape.apiscene.io. But you can also go the offline version, right? You cannot click on it, but at least you will be able to identify how the landscape is composed, right? If you have any feedbacks, tell us, or go on the website. We will be glad to update according if we missed one company, or if you think a company could be in another section. The third initiative we run is the Sustainable Digital Challenge. Every year since 2019 actually, we embrace the sustainability movement, the green IT. We prefer call it sustainable IT movement. And let's say we select for 3 months approximately 20-25 teams. It has to be the whole team, the tech team, the product team, the business team, to rethink and rebuild, refactor their application according to eco-design principles. So design, UX, code, architecture, hardware sometimes. So we really try to help these people rethink and learn about these eco-design principles. So if you're interested by this kind of challenge for your company, we had insurers, bank, retail, heavy manufacturing, startups. We had many companies. Don't hesitate to reach us. Because some companies are actually benefiting from that. Last but not least, we have a media platform called APIscene. So most of our speakers love to write a written version of their talk, and that they put on APIscene, right? So if you go on APIscene, you will find like latest API news from authors, right? Mostly inspiring, more than just how-tos. But again, APIscene is the place to be. If you want to make visibility for your practice, knowledge, or vision, you can also be a writer on APIscene. So again, you can go on the website, ask to be authorized as a writer, and we will be glad to promote your content. Okay, what to expect for the next 2 days? What to expect? So first, we will start with keynotes, right? 2 great keynotes you can see on the program. We will talk about that later. But then we will have different tracks, right, for today. The first track will be the API-driven business that will be here. Digital transformation, API-driven digital transformation. On other tracks that you can have on the program, we will have an API lifecycle track, from design, management, testing, monitoring, versioning. So all these topics will be in this API lifecycle track. We'll have a track on API security and identity, like with the main question, is current API management secure enough, or do we need a new layer of API security? I'll tell you the hint is probably on the second side. So a lot of speakers will be there to explain why new threats are needed, are pushing for new API security models. And then we have other tracks on API governance, like mostly how I make it happen in my organization, how I change the culture of my organization to make it happen. We have also a track on no-code and APIs, how to onboard citizen developers, right? The business people, the business makers who don't want to wait IT for months to build, but they want to have the tools to build directly, but all governed by the IT department. It's secure, it's managed, it's governed, and so finally business people can do no-code and build directly what do they want. Just to say, for people interested in the no-code track, the no-code will be on the first floor, so you will have to go back on the stairs and there will be a dedicated room, you will have signage for that. Then we have API tooling workshops, so mostly demos and hands-on and sponsored moments where you will be actually able to see things working and actually how to make it work. So if you need to go back next week at the office with solutions, the API tooling workshops are for you. We also have 2 guest tracks, so from other conferences, but hosted by us today, which are the API the Docs. So it's a conference called just on documentation, developer experience, developer portals, and they will be here hosted by us in a specific track with speakers on these topics. And we have also a track on la tech, which is a track in French of, let's say, people who are technologists who are kind of critical about technology and wants to put technology in another way, and they're highly involved in the tech scene there. So for people speaking French, you will be able to be there too. Okay, last but not least, at 6 p.m. we have a cocktail, and the museum will be privatized. So we are in this national city of science of France, and industry and science. And so, it's a museum, but it will be privatized with a cocktail, so we'll be able to see to make the different visits and have some fun for 1 hour. And so at 7 p.m., we have the official party coming. I don't want to reveal all the surprise, but there will be a concert, there will be like a show on stage. It will be really fun, so I really invite you to stay for the party, this 10-year celebration party. Okay, it's time to talk about fun. Can we talk about fun? Yeah? Can we talk about fun? Yeah? Okay, some fun. So you will see on this floor, actually, if you live on this floor, we have a big puzzle. It's a 1,000-piece puzzle about what we call the API-topia, the next 10 years. What could be the next 10 years in a world where software is doing its job, and actually it's useful and sustainable and everything. So we make a kind of a drawing called API-topia in the next 10 years. And some of you, or mostly most of you at the entrance, may have received a puzzle piece. So if you have received a puzzle piece, that's for that, right? So you can go there, plug the puzzle piece, and actually build collaboratively the next 10 years, right? So that's why we're doing that. Over and over, so this is what you may have received, and behind the piece, you have these instructions, like find the right spot of this piece on the commit strip booth to build the API-topia puzzle and maybe win a gift. Over and over, you will see the puzzle will be colored, right? It will be colored. So I stop here, right? But you will see, and so we will see at the end what it looked like. And the surprise is that some pieces actually have gifts. So approximately 1 out of 20 has a gift. So if you go there and plug your piece, you have 1 out of 20 chance to have a nice gift and nice swag. So I really invite you to go there. If you go out of the stage on the left, the puzzle is there. So let's have fun, let's build something together. Also, we have posters. We have like printed posters with like some API jokes, right, from our friend at Comic Strip. It's a famous comic for developers. And again, if you go at the same booth on the puzzle, you will be able to take these posters and, you're able to take these posters and coming back at home with that. Again, a lot of companies love to have this in their desk. It's fun, it's funny, and I'm sure when you read what's inside, you will like it. All of this, the 10 years and everything, all of this is possible thanks to you for being there. It's also possible thanks to sponsors who have followed us and supported us during COVID to say, okay, a lot of conferences are have stopped or have died. So sponsors say, okay, we are there, the community is there, we don't want the Apidays community to stop, so they really helped us, especially IBM, who has been a global sponsor for the last few years. So can we have a warm applause for IBM, please? So IBM did the important work. It was not the only one, so we have also some gold sponsors who represent the best of the API tooling today, like WSO2, Okta, Solace, Wib, DataStax, Google Cloud, Broadcom, Red Hat, Orange, and Vonage. So let's also have an applause for them, right? But the community is not just top sponsors, it's also a large community of silver and bronze that are part of the community. So yeah, we can definitely be happy to have this large community so we can actually rely on many people. So yeah, I invite you to go to their booth, discover what they have to propose, because they may have the right solution for you. Okay.